It's currently 3:15, considering I was interrupted. I'm literally not. I'm just a minute away from work here. I stop and get some breakfast. I want to point out, because it's quite obvious that the 100 Days video isn't really going to perform as well. One, I didn't narrate over it. Well, it's pretty obvious as to why. It's because frustrations are pretty high. And I don't think you would want to listen to me fucking rage and whatever else. I did purposely cut to a point when it came to the taming of the Rexes, if you made it that far in the video, that just as I was making my way, starting to go through Redwood, the game crashed. I had to retame all those Rexes again. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't bother to narrate over it. I purposely cut to the point where the game crashed on me, on purpose to show you guys. And I think there's a couple other points where I cut to where it crashed on me. My original, I think I've already talked about what my original plan was. My original plan was, at some point, and it might have been too much to do in a video, especially with a 100 Days video, but I was going to attempt to do it anyway. Take on Gamma bosses, Gamma Overseer, Beta bosses, Beta Overseer, and then Alpha, and then Alpha Overseer. And Alpha Overseer was the absolute end. But here's the thing. Everything you saw before the Rexes, let's just say that, before the Rexes, the game was functioning fine and it was working. It still crashed every now and then, but not as often as it was around the time of the Rexes and then after. I shouldn't even be bothering to make like an explanation video vlog, but because I know there's really no point in me doing it, but I'm doing it anyway. When it came to the Rexes, around the time of the Rexes and afterwards, that's when the game would crash, even after loading. It would crash on the very loading screen. It would consistently crash. And it would ruin footage. And like I said, the reason why I can't show you the boss fights is because the very times that it crashed and it fucked up my PC to the point where I had to restart the PC was those times. It did crash during the cave runs I did, and I couldn't use the footage anyway because, well, it crashed. And the footage was just basically unusable. And when I did get back into the game, I was dead. So anything I had, I lost. So let's say if I got the artifact, the game crashed, I had to load it back in. As soon as I loaded back in and got in, I took 2 steps, got swarmed, dead. Nothing I could do about it. When it came to the boss fights, in those boss fights, if I was to explain further, when I said to the point where it crashed to the point where I had to completely restart the PC, where it crashed the computer so bad that I had to restart, was during the boss fights. Meaning the footage I did record, I can't even show you. Because the files were corrupted. Literally nothing I could do about it. I'm not bullshitting you. You see it in the video. With a point where I cut to the exact point where it crashed. Even later on. And in that point, in the very end of the video, where I'm standing there with no armor on, nothing, was because I pushed for an attempt to go after the Overseer regardless. And I died. I died because the game crashed. And besides what happened lately, with the crunch and everything, with the info that we didn't really want to hear, and with the consistent crashing, and to the point where I couldn't even get to the overseer without the game crashing on me, and me dying and losing all my stuff and losing all the creatures I had. I literally was at my breaking point with the game. Nothing I can really do about it. I did make a poll if people would prefer that I go back to the original Ark Survival Evolved, and I haven't checked at all yet, but if you haven't seen the past videos, go look at the poll, make your decision. If you guys want me to go back to Ark Survival Evolved, I will. I'll go back to it. I'll go back to it fully, because as of right now, Ark Survival Ascended is completely uninstalled from my PC. Eventually I'll come back to it, but as of right now, I'm done. I am done with it. I'm putting it on a shelf right now, and I'll go back to it when I feel like I want to come back to it, and we'll go from there. So if you guys want me to go back to Ark Survival Evolved, I will go back to Ark Survival Evolved, and I will continue making content from that version of the game. Do I feel like Ark is on its last legs? Very much so, yes. But I'm gonna go into work here. I'll probably continue this vlog when I'm in work. Peace. So welcome back. Welcome back to part 2. See, I ain't the only one who's saying that Ark's days are numbered. Especially when things are so bad that Rosclar can't even, proper hype up the crunch and everything, and just be as disappointed as we all were. Despite how good ASA looks, thing is, there's literally next to nothing when it comes to content. And the fact that they're relying on paid-to-win content, or what they call content, it's more like pay-to-win bullshit, to push people to spend money on the game or on this paid DLC is like, I'm not going to waste a dime on that. I'm not going to waste the money. I mean, I've, just like everybody else, we paid for a new remastered version of the game that's supposed to come with all these maps that are supposed to come in at a monthly basis. And Scorched Earth got pushed all the way to April. And now the center's not even, is going to be, it's going to be probably in August before we see the center. So we'll be stuck with the island for all the way up to July, June and July. And there's no telling if modded maps are going to be done. Svartalfheim is probably the closest map being done than anything, being fully done, especially the paid version. But this is just it's like they made ASA just to be a cash grab more than anything, and it's depressing. But if you guys want me to go back fully to Ark Survival Evolved, I could redo a whole 100 days thing a whole 100 days thing with that if you guys want to see that. But if you don't, you don't. That's fine. I'll go back to modded content on Ark Survival Evolved, because why? There's content there. I will say this though. I dove into Nightingale. You guys will see an episode of Nightingale, and everything I do in Nightingale, you guys will see. I will also be playing the Banished or Banisher game that came out. I will be playing that as well. But I really can't sit here and talk any much longer, because I got to get going. I got to get the stuff working on and whatnot. But I've got plenty of things to do later this afternoon to get things ready, so that way I can get my PC shipped. Because for those who don't know, I'm constantly working, so I'm constantly busy, so I don't have time always to just be able to quickly do something. So I'm going to get my PC shipped this week, and it'll probably be a couple more weeks, if not a whole month, before I see it again. And that's probably what it's got to be before it'll probably be a month or so before I go back to ASA. Probably a month. We'll see. We'll see what you guys decide. ASA or ASE? Which one? Which one you want me to go back to?